but to have the glasses half full kind of attitude, and I'm standing here today, sober and alive, so that says something. And to spread that, experience, strength, and hope to everyone else. That if they do that, it's that waterfall effect.
And earlier we were talking about the isolation and being cut off from their network, and it goes back to, as well as, like, you have to work for your sobriety. And I know that word work just sounds bad, but you have to go after your sobriety. So whether that means if you have friends that are in recovery, which I would assume you do, call them, hey, let's have a meeting on Facebook and just do a check-in. Let's do Facebook Messenger real quick.
Send pictures of the weird crap that you've come up with to do at your house or whatever. Look at the puzzle. I found 2 more pieces in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Look what I've gotten done.
Anything. You can search it out and you can create it. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't wait for me. Don't wait for Marney. Don't wait for Chris. Don't wait for Ryan. Don't wait for anybody else to do anything that you can do on your own. It's simple as sending a message to your buddies, or like saying, hey, let's meet 12 o'clock. You having lunch, or hey, I'm not doing anything today because work. I'm not even working today, so
yeah,
hook up at 8 o'clock. Let's chat it up.
Have your roommate do a blindfold, like, chopped basket from what you got in your kitchen. Make a meal out of
Jesus.
random stuff from your cupboards.
Yeah, you could do that.
No, I'm just saying, you got nothing to do. Find something to do.
Oh, I got something we could do.
Sexual relationship.
Oh, that's the wrong button. I meant to hit this
Crazy.
other one. That's...
Oh, yeah, I'm the dirty man tonight.
Yeah, you are.
Oh. Yeah, well, no, just kind of kidding. But I had some news the other day that kind of came down, and it really wasn't what I expected. Kind of caught me off guard. I've been trying to be positive about everything and not even think about the negatives, as you were talking about, half full. And I chose to react in a way that maybe some people would, maybe some people wouldn't. I don't know. But the way I chose to act is to still have faith and still be positive about the things that are going right and the things that are going well. And the fact that I'm not 100% certain about the certain situation. And you know what? I have zero control over it. There's not one thing I can do. Not one thing by me drinking or being upset or being mad is going to change it. Not one thing. And does it make me sad inside? Yeah. But again, there's nothing I can do about it. I have to accept it. This is the world we live in, and this is the way things go. Not everything's going to go my way every time. Unfortunately, as awesome as I am, this is something that's out of my control. And it was really hard for me to kind of express how I felt, because I felt like, well, since I'm not throwing things around the room and mad or, breaking to my knees, just crying or just frustrated, upset, that it might show that I didn't care, and that wasn't the case. It's just the fact that I'm still, holding on. If there's 1% chance sometimes, that's 1% that I'm going to bet on that and just roll with it until I know for a fact there's no chance, for me to win that. But, I was telling Marney the other day, the doctors told me that 98% of the people that came into my condition, they die. 98%. So I was a 2%. So I'll take that all day. And, the only thing I can do is control how I feel and how I think. And yeah, I could be negative. I could be reacting how people think I should react. But, at the end of the day, I do care. But there's nothing I can do about it. And there's no sense of beating myself up over something I have no control over, I guess is all. It's a really long way to say that. I like to hear myself talk, too. That's pretty cool sometimes.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, anybody can, how you react to every situation is, I think, has a lot to do with where you are at that moment. And, I think as individuals, like we talk about this all the time, that as human beings, we're going to face situations, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, every day. And there's stuff to celebrate. There's stuff to be angry about. There's stuff to fight about. There's stuff to let go. There's stuff to, you know what I mean? The list goes on. And your feelings are your feelings, and how you react to them is how you react to them. Where you're at in life, I think, has a lot to do with your strength as a human being, based on, your faith in God and his plans for you. And, I know for a fact that I made so many poor decisions in my life that I probably should not be sitting here today. But for whatever reason, God kept me around, and I am blessed for that. So I know there's a plan for everything. And I know I'm blessed today to have the people in my life that I have. And I am surrounded by love and support, and I try to give love and support. And I try to give love and support to people that I don't even know.
Man,
it makes me feel good. Nice move there.
Thanks.
But no, on a serious note, so I mean, I think that being faced with how you deal with things there's no real right answer to feelings. Like, there's tons of quotes that you can look up about, like, you can never take anybody's feelings and tell them that they're wrong.
Mm-mm.
Like, you cannot feel that way, or you're not supposed to feel that way, or like questioning, like, I mean, you can make people kind of maybe think further into why it is that they feel the way that they do about things, or why they're reacting the way they react to things. But you're totally, like, your feelings are valid. Your feelings are yours, and nobody can take them from you or tell them that they're wrong. So, that's just the bottom line of it.
One of my favorite quotes of all time, and you could tell with this quote that there's a lot of frustration.
At least in Detroit, you have a bus stop.
And that's one of my favorite quotes, because, like, that is clearly a person that is not happy that where he's living has not a bus stop even, but he's willing to change, and he's willing to move through that. And I believe he has, but that quote is a good one. And I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. And speaking of t-shirts too, if you're not doing anything, check out our shop. You don't have to buy anything, but if you want to, you can now. We've had so many people, hey, how do I get one of those shirts? How do I get one of those? Well, here's your opportunity.
Yep.
And we're going to put more shirts up as the days go along. And we're probably going to start busting out podcasts a little more often too, just to kind of have something for someone to listen to. If this helps one person, then that's great, and that's victory for us. It helps us too. If we're not planning on doing it, then, well, we could be planning something else. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I wasn't about to cry. That was just had a little Powerade throat, but yeah. So it does really help us. And Chris said something today. We were at Walmart, and something got brought up about red or orange jumpsuits in jail.
It was the checkout lady.
What'd she say? What was that about?
She said something about, how are you doing today, or something. And he said, well, at least I'm not in a orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Something.
And she said something about jail, like, oh yeah, I heard that. And he's like, no, next time we're going to jail or whatever, I'm going to be there giving speeches.
Yeah, he did say that. That's right. I forgot.
And he was 100% serious.
Yeah, he was totally dead serious.
And
she's just scanning away, and he's just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, at least I'm not in an orange jumpsuit behind bars or something. And she's like, oh, huh. And just kept scanning. He goes, and we're behind him, and he goes, the next time I'm there, I'm going to be giving a talk or something like that.
Which
awesome.
is awesome. And that's, obviously what we want to do at 217 Recovery. That's just one of the things. And, I think Chris is going to be great at it. I think people are going to be able to relate to Chris, and things he says, the things he's experienced in life. And, if he can go through that stuff that he went through and come out the other side with life, a real life, I think that's huge. And hope and inspiration, that's all we can give people. And, we all have stories, absolutely. It's hard to get up there in front of people and share them. We're not proud of the things we've done sometimes. And like I said, it's not for everybody. Some people, they want to come on the podcast and, oh, yeah, I want to be on the podcast. And then they just shut down or they just avoid me like the plague. And it's like, eh. And a lot of people that have been on my podcast, they relapse. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, they think that I judge them or something, and that most of them should know me better. That no, there's no judgment here. Even the guys that were in sober living with me at one point that maybe have gone back out and used. I get it, man. Like if you know me or know me well, I'm not judging you. There's some people that I just think, like I'm not going to get involved because there's nothing I can do to save anybody, and that's just going to be a waste of my time. And some people could say, Corey, well, you just said a minute ago that you'd help anybody. And yeah, to an extent, it's kind of like when we were at the suicide prevention training.
Which was amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
One of the questions was, would you go to any length to save somebody? I put no. No, there's a lot of things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't, harm myself. I wouldn't put myself in danger. I wouldn't put my family in danger. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, there's really no wrong or right answer. But the fact that you at least know that, and those are very important things that you wouldn't do, put yourself in harm's way. I don't watch a lot of action movies, but you see a lot of times the guy will jump from the train and the other guy comes to save him. Okay, maybe that's really not in the movie, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many times you see these action movies and, I'm going to save this guy. And not me. I'm not trying to be in no action movie. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to make babies and raise families. That's all I want to do. Not raise families, but create one. But yeah, so big props to Chris. I really like hearing that positivity from him. And sometimes it can be hard, but the fact that he's got something that he's looking forward to. Mm-hmm. I know for Chris, that day he walks into a jail to give an open talk, or I think he might cry a little bit, actually. Mm-hmm. I really think that Chris is kind of sensitive, but I don't know. I think it'll be a wonderful, wonderful time, and I want to be there. And there's things I want to do. Next year I'm going to book the Kalamazoo State Theater, and we are going to do it's hard for me to explain what it's going to be. It's going to be like a stand-up comedy / storytelling / fundraising / entertainment, sober recovery, good time, where people can come, get entertained, learn a little bit about us, hear the stuff that we've been through, the stuff that we don't talk about on here, and just have a good time. And we're going to do that. And, we were going to do like a bus trip to the White Sox, which has been hard to get that many people to go to a White Sox game, but we were going to do that, and it was going to be a fundraiser. That's not happening now. So there's a lot of things that, I could be like, oh, damn devil. But I just got to look at the bright side of it. And, there's some things going on right now that still could be amazing for us. So we're not, going to give up anything. Like the UFAM rally, I was so stoked about that, and the fact that they won a 217 recovery